I'm designing my first line of crochet loveys, or some people call them snugglers. They're basically plushies without the bodies all stuffed up. So I first made these for my kids, and now I'm redesigning them so you can crochet someone's bestie. The elephant is available, and up next is the monkey. Here's the first one that I made, and you can see he's really been loved on. I am first going to give him more simple feet. I know that sounds weird, but in the original design, he's got toes that you create, and it might be a little difficult for people who are just learning, so I'm getting rid of that part. And he needs longer legs. Monkeys should have long legs, long arms, long tails, or at least in my opinion they should. So that's something else that I'll be changing. If you notice in the image, the hands are quite pointy, and I want to make them more rounded. So that's another thing that I'll be changing. When you look at the body, he's also very rounded. And I think I'm going to make him more of a rectangular shape, or at least the body will be more rectangular. As I mentioned before, the tail will also be much longer because he's a monkey. Now, when it comes to the face, I think he needs to have more features. Instead of just having that rounded muzzle, I think it needs more detail. So I'll be trying to make it more of a smile and give him a nose. I have an idea of how it's going to work, and I think you'll enjoy the way that it'll come together. I also think the place on the face, which I call a face patch, needs to be shaped a little differently. Maybe like two rounded pieces that kind of come together so you can see where each eye sits. The other thing that I want to change is the eyes. In the original design, I used embroidery threads, and that was really difficult to hold on to. I don't normally like working with small crochet hooks, so it was a challenge. This time, all you need is yarn, even for the eyes. The other thing I'll be changing is a minor detail. Instead of the ears being a different color, they'll be the same color as the body, and I may try and play with the shape a little bit so they're more rounded. Now, when it comes to the construction of this, I want all my patterns to be low sew because I really don't like to do all that sewing. So I'm going to make sure that you can work this whole thing from the bottom up. You'll make the arms and some of the pieces for the face. Then you'll start from the bottom, the legs will become the body, you'll work in the arms, and you'll just keep working until you get to the top of the head. And if you're wondering, what are all these changes going to look like? I've got a prototype. Now, this isn't the finished design because, as you can see, I've used a lot of different yarns to kind of put him together. And I also didn't bother crocheting the tail all the way. But the body is more rectangular, the legs are a little longer, and you can see that the feet are just one big piece instead of a bunch of little toes together. The muzzle is a little bit mashed up because I didn't stuff anything yet, and you can see he's still attached to some yarn balls because this is my testing yarn. I saved the good stuff for the final piece. But I hope this gives you an idea of what this will look like and how it all comes together. The head isn't stuffed, by the way, but this was the first run of what I ended up with after the changes that I wanted to make to the original. I think it adds a lot more detail, and of course you can't really see the eyes on this guy because, again, this was just about getting the shapes, making sure that I've gotten the written instructions down, and now we're making the final thing. But that's another video, so make sure that you stay tuned and subscribe so you can follow along with all the updates on the final version of the pattern. Thanks for watching.
He's been harassed. He's been through a lot.
He's been through a lot.
He got a lot of abuse.